All right, looks like we're now streaming live. Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. So if because we can't officially be official, we won't, but we have a few members here, which is great, and we can maybe jump to Courtney's introduction and her report. Courtney, you want to take it away and roll with this?
Yeah, sure, totally. So you'll see there is a new face in here. I'd like to introduce Paul Kovacs. And Paul will be covering Felicia's maternity leave. So he started with us yesterday and with the idea of being here until next September. So a year plus a few months. Felicia is still working with us as well. We're just in a bit of a transitional period. And then we are looking forward to all the great things. So Paul comes to us from a variety of municipal backgrounds and lots of great experience. And we're really excited to be able to have his new ideas and energy, and it should be great. Paul, I'm not sure if you'd like to introduce yourself or anything else I missed?
Yeah, like Courtney said, I come from a very diverse background. I lived out west for about 8 years and then moved back to about 2019 and then got back in the municipal system and just looking to make a great impact. And my efforts are with youth. So really excited.
Hi, Paul.
Paul, are you from around here or where do you hail from?
I was born and raised in Barrie, grew up in Springwater, and then, moved out west just as most some kids do, just on a whim, and then decided to live there for about 8 years before realizing I made a mistake and came back.
Nice. Well, it's awesome. Glad to have you on board here.
Yeah, welcome, Paul.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so I'll just kind of very informally update you, I suppose. As you all know, there is still very limited information on a reopening. So what we're doing is just continuing what we were doing. So we have our activity kits. So they will go out again next week. So Paul will be delivering with me, which is excellent. And he'll get a great lay of the land of Clearview. So right now we have 73 out of 75 activity kits that are claimed. So they still continue to be very popular, which is fantastic. And we have registrations from every little town and area of Clearview, which is really excellent as well. So we're happy to see that continuing. And each month we're getting new registrations and new faces and new youth that are aging into the bracket that we're offering. So we're really happy about that. And our plan is to really continue those kits until we can resume full-time programming again. And then we hope to find a way to integrate that program, because it's been really good for us in our reach, somehow into our full programming, being able to reach those youth. So that's a little bit of a to be continued. So the next piece is that based on the announcement, based on the phase 1, 2, 3, staying in each phase for 21 days with the anticipated moving into phase 1 in 2 weeks, I can't see that we will be able to operate any kind of indoor programming if we're lucky this summer. It looks like our kind of category of indoor, what we were following previously, falls into phase 2 or 3. And so we will have a little bit of time. So our plan is, instead of planning to open the center this summer, is to move our programming outside and a variety of programming. So we are going to look at participating in the farmers market in Stayner. We're going to look at diversifying our programming into the eco park this summer, as well as utilizing some of those other beautiful spaces and parks, trails, and offer some more opportunities as well in that way. We just don't have the outdoor space at the center, as you all know, we are fairly limited there with the building. So we are going to use the assets that we have and hope to create some programming to be able to continue to connect with youth. And we might look at that virtual aspect as well, which brings us to our next. So we have done, the last time we met, the committee made the suggestion of doing the virtual, connecting with the youth. So we tried it a few times. We had some success, some good success. So we had an escape room with a ton of youth that participated, which was great. We have been able to connect with the Collingwood Youth Centre. They have a fantastic cooking class program with a chef, and they live stream it all. And we've been able to hook into that program and offer it here to our youth. And our part is the delivery and the purchase of the groceries to be able to get them connected. We've done some game nights, some trivia nights. But as I'm sure you all know, if you have the youth at home or you yourself have switched to that virtual environment, we have certainly seen a decline in the virtual participation since the youth went back to the online learning. I think there's just a lot of that kind of screen time burnout. They're on the screens all day and they have a hard time kind of meeting us in the evenings. But we'll continue to offer that this summer if we feel like it would be beneficial or used. But I think probably our focus is going to be moving our programming outdoors and really taking advantage of being able to be outside together in a socially distant fashion. As soon as we can reopen, we hope to reopen. We're just going to have to wait and see kind of what that looks like. There's still very much just a framework of kind of what it'll look like, but there's not too many details surrounding that again. So it's going to be a little bit of a wait and see approach. And then the last big thing we've been working on in the last month or two has been recruitment. So we have recruited both positions. So you've met Mr. Kovacs. He will be our full-time contract for the year and a bit. And then we have hired another gentleman for the part-time position with what looks like the start date of in a few weeks from now. Just kind of, we're waiting again to see what's happening with our reopening and what kind of our plans are with that moving forward. And that'll make our full staff complement for the next year and a half, which is great. So does anyone have any questions?
I wanted to make a comment about the point you made about the screen time burnout. And I think in the school, we're seeing that more so than any point during this pandemic or lockdown these last 18 months. We've gone through different phases, but we never really seen it like we see it now, where everybody is done. So we have students disengaging. We've got, like, we just had midterms that we've had, the reports came into us, at least from teachers today, and we haven't seen we always have students who are successful, always have students who are on the bubble. I've never seen such a divide. We've got a cohort of kids who are still engaged and connected, and then everybody else who are just kind of dropping off the map, and it's hard. I mean, my own kids, I had them signed up. My brother runs a kind of a online science camp, from Lakehead University, and my kids jumped in on that, 6 months ago, and they've asked to opt out, even though it's their uncle running it. They said, we're done after a full day with online classes. We can't do anything more. We don't want to engage. So I think that you got this completely right in terms of doing something outside, because no one wants to spend more time in front of the screen.
Also, there's such a short window of outside time that it's best to utilize it.
And even with our registration, so we've done like 2 batches of virtual programming. The first batch was quite successful, and then we moved into the online and it just dropped right off. And some people were signed up, and they just let us know it's too beautiful outside, we're not going to participate tonight. So I think we need to really point our direction to the outdoor programming and just utilizing the beautiful facilities we have in Clearview. So for example, the Eco Park. So we have some big plans for the Eco Park this summer, and getting youth involved in offering volunteer opportunities and great things like that. And then just moving into the other parks, and we're hoping to diversify and maybe move into other towns to be able to get to the youth in their hometown base as well. And I also think that's why our activity kits have also been very successful, because it's hands-on, interactive activities, not only for the youth, but sometimes for their families as well, or working with their siblings. So that's why I think it's kind of why this entire time I haven't pushed very hard for the virtual programming, because I think that there's more research that will show you that I think we can be more engaging with youth in person, and or by providing them an opportunity to be active at home. So I think that's where kind of our focus will stay. And, but if an opportunity arises, or any of our new staff members bring some great ideas to the table, we'll, certainly look at them as well. So, but yeah.
I quite like what you said too, about kind of utilizing all the different areas of Clearview and going to the different home areas of these kids, because there are lots of little pockets that make up Clearview, and there's lots of stuff that the towns have to offer. And I know I'm always cheering on Creedmoor, but there's like a nice park here where you can kind of spend the day. And so that's a cool idea to kind of roll through everyone's home ground.
Yeah, and we had looked at doing that too. This past summer we had looked at doing it, but then we couldn't, because that was really in the thick of COVID and the uncertainties with it. But we do have plans for like a rotating park program, which I think we'll look at possibly trying this summer again. It's just, again, waiting for more information to come out about what that phase 1 looks like, what's allowed, and what are the parameters around it, based on what the health unit's also recommending. So it's a good place to be. I think we have some really great ideas, and I think we'll create some really great programs that may be here to stay for next summer as well. But it'll just be seeing how it kind of looks, and that's what we're kind of waiting on. So.
Thanks, Courtney. I don't know, I don't have any other questions, but I know it must be frustrating to have so many things on the verge of kind of moving forward and then being able to be like, just waiting for the green light to go.
Yeah, it's a bit of a wait and see approach, and there's a lot of things in the background, and a lot of things that can continue, like the activity kits and some of that virtual, like the cooking classes is amazing. It's tonight, actually, as we speak, the cooking class is happening. They're making mango curry chicken. So, there's an opportunity to expand on that type of programming as well. And so I really see we'll have a bright future this summer of what we're going to be able to offer. And like our activity kits, it might open up a whole door of opportunity we never would have had before had the center been open in person. So we'll see. And then, with the hopes that we have some regularity come the fall, and that might be our prime time to look at, getting, when the students are back, getting them back in the center, and hoping we can stay open, because the back and forth is tough for the center, and it's tough for the youth. It's tough for our participation and for keeping the youth engaged and connected as well.
I just want to say, last night, the CAO, with his 2020 report of activities from each department and things that have taken place over the year 2020, was very impressed with the activity kits. He made comment of the activity kits and how what a great opportunity to reach out to the youth during a time when we need to try and keep them involved doing whatever we can. So he was very impressed with those kits. So I just wanted to pass that along. He thought that was just really a great idea moving forward with those. So just pass it on, Courtney. You and the group did those. They're wonderful.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great feedback to hear. It's always nice to hear the feedback, and we've certainly heard a lot of it. It'll actually next month, so July next month, will be an entire year we've been doing the activity kits. And today I did a little bit of math, and when next week's delivery is complete, we'll have dropped off 500 kits over the last year. So it's pretty amazing. And I did some statistics for that annual report, and we've reached a lot of youth over those 500 kits. And some youth, if you're looking for a bit of a bright side to this, pandemic, we've really been able to reach a lot of youth with this program I think we would have never reached. So it's a really it's a really great thing that's happened for us. So I'm glad that the feedback's there.
What were those numbers? I'm just really curious. You said you were working on some statistics.
So numbers as in like youth overall?
Your reach.
I'd have to look back. I can send an email after maybe. I don't have it right now, but I also have a great map I created I pinned every location we've delivered to as well. And when I say we've gone to every concession road and dirt road and every town and every outside, I've seen more of Clearview in the last year than I did my first year being employed, which is great. So it's been really excellent. We've seen some beautiful places as well. So I can follow up with that email though about the numbers of how many youth we've actually served over those 500 kids and a bit of that demographic. I can share that map with you, which it's actually very cool.
Yeah, I would love that because that's really impressive to have that come into fruition and then reach such a number. That's really impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Not
I
just
think that
all
map
me.
would be awesome to see too. Like that was a huge priority, I know, for you and for most of the members of the committee. Wanted to see that you were finding a way. We're excited about the way that you were finding a way to connect with people in all parts. So that'd be awesome to see.
Yeah, and like I said, it's what's great is that when we do go on to offer in-person programming or future programming in those communities, we're going to already have a set audience and people who have already participated with us that we're going to be able to reach out. And we've made relationships with, you would like to call, I guess, more of the decision makers. So we've made great relationships with the families, with the parent guardians. They sometimes step out onto their porch when we, drop it off and we chat with them for a minute. So it's been just a really great opportunity to build relationships as well. So I think it's going to be a really built-in benefit for us moving forward with that direction of reaching more and in a larger demographic. And now that we have a larger staff complement, that is also going to make that reach a little easier as well. So I think that will be certainly helpful as well.
Well, are there any other questions then for Courtney? All right, seeing none, I think at this time, I don't want to try to set another meeting date at this stage. I know that we need to have an official meeting at some point, but I think it's best that we wait and find out how things open up and the timelines. Once we have a better sense of that, perhaps I can chat with Courtney and then we can send something out to come up with a meeting, as long as we are meeting maybe before the summer is out, to look at ahead to fall programming and see what's next, if that sounds reasonable to everybody.
Yeah, I think with the quarterly meeting, that would have put us into August anyways. I think in June, it's like every 3 months or 4 months. And then, yeah, let's just chat then, because if something really dramatically changes and we have a way better plan of where we're going, it would be great to have some committee input on our fall plans anyways. But we're at a bit of a standstill anyhow right now. So that probably is the better way to go. Give us a little bit of time to see what's happening.
Right. Okay, that sounds good to me. So we can touch base and go from there and make sure we get the word out to everybody. All right. And I guess unless there's something else, I think that's it. Unless anybody has new business or anything we want to bring up informally.
No, thanks, Courtney. As always, you're doing awesome. Paul, nice to meet you. Welcome. Welcome.
Nice to meet everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks,
Very
Courtney.
good. All right. Well, I guess that's it for today, and look forward to connecting soon. And hopefully we'll have some good news on the horizon about